Candyman, 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 Candyman. Now, you know damn well they know what they're doing when they shoot behind Yahya's back like that. They know exactly what they're doing when they shooting on Yahya's back like that. That was the first time I fell in love with him, to be honest. When I went to go see Us, and they was walking in that amusement park, Adelaide was a little baby, and Yahya's back in that white tee, taking up that damn IMAX screen. My God, y'all gonna keep shooting him like that, huh? Oh, that's for the girls. Welcome to not a dissection, but a movie review. I am JustLatasha, your host tonight. So glad to be here. Shout out to my first comment, Zania, Miss Morris, what's going on? And we're gonna have us a time. Tonight's gonna operate a little bit differently. You guys know I like to show you the stills and some of the video of whichever TV show or movie I'm speaking of, but I don't have that material. And I'm just going to be reviewing and having a conversation with you guys about Candyman, the adaptation from the 1992 film for 2021. I had a good time. So before we get started, again, I am your host, JustLatasha. Thank you so much for being here. I'm live every Monday at 6 p.m. EST for a dissection for either a TV show or a film. And I am also on patreon.com/JustLatasha for exclusive live shows twice a month. You guys missed it. If you're not a patron, you miss it. I went live yesterday to dissect the 1992 Candyman for two reasons. Number one, it's Black History, baby. That is a Black ass film right there. That's Black history. And I wanted to prep for my experience in watching the adaptation, which is not quite an adaptation, which I'll get into as we go on. But we and my patrons privately dissected the 1992 version of Candyman. So that informed so much of how I saw this version that we'll be discussing tonight. So I'll be referencing, obviously, the original in discussing tonight. So if you guys haven't seen that, join Patreon right now. I am also on Instagram at JustLatasha, also on Twitter, JustLatasha404. I'm excited, y'all. Hey, what's up, Mara? How you doing? We out here. We about to do it. Now, as the title shows, spoiler. If y'all don't want to know nothing about the movie, watch this at a later time. We are spoiling, okay? We talking about what had happened and why and who done it. We're doing it all right now. So let's jump right in, shall we? Okay. Candyman, the 2021 version, directed by Nia DaCosta, the first Black woman director with a #1 movie. Here comes the hello. Congrats, Nia. That's all you deserve. Hollywood. Hollywood, we're having an issue. We're still having an issue. We shouldn't be doing first Black anythings at this point, but I'm glad it was her and I'm glad it was this. Why not? Hi, Dad, what's up? So, co-written by Jordan Peele, Win Rosenfeld, and of course, Nia DaCosta as well. Coming off of the 1992 Candyman, who is a supernatural, powerful being who haunts Cabrini-Green, the housing complex, the projects in Chicago's North Side, right? And the theme of the original Candyman was racism. I'm starting to see some takes, especially on Twitter, about how now Candyman has turned into this social justice racism piece. It is a social justice racism piece. So just wanted to put that out there. The theme of the original Candyman was about the constant state of terror that impoverished Black people, inner city people experience. And that stems from racism, classism, poverty, and for them specifically, this supernatural being that haunts them. What are all of the hauntings of the Black people that reside in Cabrini-Green, Chicago, Illinois? Right? The constant terror, and who is coming to help? We really had to ask that in Candyman, 1992. Who was coming to help? So in my dissection yesterday on Patreon, please sign up to go watch that. I spoke a lot about a running theme of inversions, right? You present something and then you flip it on its head. And there were so many themes of inversions in the 1992 version. And this, of course, plays that right up as well. And this movie in itself serves as an inversion to the original film. So we'll dive in and make that and make that very clear. So Candyman 2021 is a sequel, I believe, more so than an adaptation. It's a sequel to the horror film Candyman that returns to the now gentrified Chicago neighborhood where the legend began. So here's what I found interesting. As soon as the movie opened, we started with this sort of floating skyline view, right? And in the 2021 version, we are peering from the ground up, right? We seem to be in sort of this underworld, the bottom up. But in the original, it's inverted. We're peering from the sky down. So what I believe that to mean was the original movie was society's view on Candyman, right? How did Helen, the lead, the protagonist, go around even discovering the story? People were telling her around town the story of Candyman. It's how they viewed him. And in this 2021 version, where we're having that inversion, there are shots of Anthony, played by the beautiful Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, where there are all these bird's eye aerial shots of him shooting him from the top down, right? We're on top of his head for a long time. But then as he begins to transition into the spirit of Candyman and they start to align and merge, we start to view him from the bottom up, right? When he turns into this ghoulish figure. Was it bad? I'm seeing the reviews, I'm hearing the takes, and I'm hearing the critiques. Was it bad? To be fair, that's subjective. I will say, I didn't walk away from this movie feeling like I saw a movie. I walked away from this. I purchased a ticket. I really love movies that give me that tingly feeling in my chest that makes me be like, I want to embody this story. I want to coddle it. I want to buy the hardcover book. I want to read the screenplay. I want to keep it. It's a part of me. I like when movies make me feel like that. I felt like that about Hereditary. Duh. I felt like that about Black Panther. I felt like that about there's another movie that when I saw it, I was like, right? Get Out. You walked away and you were like thinking about it and you had it and you wanted to talk about it. And I didn't leave with any of that. There was nothing to say. There was nobody to connect with. But I'm happy that Black people are doing this and working at this level. So I jumped on Twitter and I celebrated Nia DaCosta. I celebrated Jordan Peele faves. You know what I mean? So I'm happy that this is. All right. Here are my critiques. Here are my takes. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat because more people have joined. Hello, Latisse. The shot was beautiful. Mostly Mosey says, say his name, say it. And A-Bar T, what's up? The movie was okay. My take is the direction carried the story. Like if Nia didn't come up, if she didn't come here and show off, like she pulled out all the stops, all her tricks, like she really like came into like body. If she didn't do that, I will say sometimes, and with these powerhouse actors, Black talent, these powerhouses, the dialogue felt a little flat. It was giving, I gotta say my line. And that's not the way that they acted, that's the material that they had. And I'm sorry, I don't even like doing this. The dialogue felt flat sometimes, and it was feeding story rather than showing and giving story. Example, Coleman Domingo, who I love, who I stand so hard my body will break, who played William, who worked and operated in the laundromat, right? You got Coleman Domingo in your whole movie, and he's passionately telling you a legend of the Candyman. Okay. Coleman got range. Don't do that to him. Coleman got range. Like, put Coleman outside. Let's see what. I don't know. I didn't write the story. Like, I don't know, but like, it wasn't. Okay. The pacing of Anthony being lured, being obsessed with Candyman, for me, happened way too fast. Because I feel like it just needed a smoother transition to Anthony becoming obsessed to learn this folktale. And I'll compare it against the original. When we had Helen, Helen was going to the university. She started asking the teacher. She was going to plan a course with her husband. She was asking the students. And then she went to the projects and was asking them and like met people. And so she was building this story. She goes to the library. She finds more information. She's putting it all together. You see each and every scene 1 inch closer to him. And the visuals, which I explained on my Patreon stream yesterday, the visuals of the original Candyman actually show him entering until you get to that midpoint of that film where he finally appears in the physical. But it was so slow and building brick by brick that you didn't even realize that he physically wasn't even in there for the first half of the movie. So when Anthony's kind of here and home and he's a photographer and his work isn't quite hitting, and then he's like, I need to find Candyman. It just, right? Make us salivate for Candyman. Make him salivate for it. I didn't feel like that happened. So he was drawn to it, but like, and they explained it in the end. But while watching it, I want to know like why is this so important to him? Like why, right? Like why specifically Candyman for him? Why now with this photography piece? Because he didn't go in consciously knowing that it was going like he's all about Candyman. It just, whatever. Y'all are saying dialogue was super expository and stilted because of it. Mara said the writing was toast. They did the best they could with what they had. They stood beside him. And I'm gonna stand beside him. And we know Coleman can deliver a monologue. Word to Euphoria, and that's on Euphoria. Misha should have taken this property there. I said it. You pitting two bad bitches against each other. Ooh. Ooh. So, all right, I don't want to say this next part, y'all, but this is why we're here. Y'all, Hollywood lands. We need a bigger CGI budget. We need a bigger CGI budget. We need a big makeup budget. And I think their biggest CGI spend was for that very last shot, which I won't say because go out and see it. I think all their money went to that last shot. That satisfying last shot. But I've also said this with Us, the movie. Who is doing the makeup? Who is doing the makeup? There are people and indie creators on TikTok killing the makeup and VFX game. I seen all that glue laying up on my baby daddy's face. I said, now peel it off, because what are we doing? I want to peel it off. We need a bigger budget, okay? Now, because I dissect and I look at visuals and I spend a lot of time with film and movies and TV, while I was watching it, I could say Miss Nia, the director, did her thing. Visually, the colors showed exactly where Anthony's transition into Candyman took place, because as the colors started to transition, I was like, oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. Oh, he got him. He got him, right? Because as we started in the beginning of the film, there were a lot of like grays and blues. And as he's studying Candyman and he's doing the painting and he's doing his art and doing all this stuff, we start to see the yellows, you know, the Candyman cloak yellow, the honeycomb yellow start to creep in and enter his life. And then more reds swirling and taking over. So visually you can see, just like the original, how Candyman came in and met our lead character. Where I really also loved the inanimate objects that made you feel Candyman's presence without him even being there, right? The mask on the wall, the mannequins, the photos, like just these still pieces just kind of looming over the characters. And you like, I don't feel like I'm alone. Like, good stuff. Good stuff. Of course, Anthony was always in red. He had the red beanie, which, you know, represented that target of danger on him, that red sock when he was discovering that his gallery work went famous because of the murders. Something I thought was really cool. This used a lot of direct influence visually from the original Candyman to pay homage in this version. But another theme of inversion, how this movie was an inversion to the original, was when Anthony was so hyped that he's famous now because there were murders at the gallery. And he smiles and he's enamored with the fact that that's it. They said my name. They said my name. In Patreon's live stream yesterday, I explained how that happened for Helen, the original protagonist, and how when Candyman set her up to appear as if she's done the murders, she becomes infamous. They don't say her name. And not only do they not say her name to protect this white woman, she is shamed. This is not a moment of glory for her. So I thought that was really cool for the same exact thing to happen to Anthony, but the complete opposite effect happens to the characters, right? He takes this as a glorious moment versus Helen, who did not. I thought that was very slick. Dre says, I already knew the plot of the movie without even watching it, because if you are from Chicago, you know the Cabrini-Green has been gentrified. Does that make it the plot, or does that make it a happenstance? Because that was the point of Candyman, was to speak about gentrification compared to the 30 years ago when white people were sort of moving in and imposing on that community. Latisse Brown said, makeup did good with that hand. That hand was nasty. Yes, that hand was disgusting. What up, JR? We'll catch you on the rewatch. Okay. Miss Director, what Nia DaCosta did with the visual mirror / reflection trickery was mastery. Nothing short of absolutely stunning. She's a slick one. She's clean. Everything she did with the mirrors, I couldn't have thought of that in a million years. What she managed to do with mirrors and reflections, because in the original Candyman, it's a mirror. You're either in front of it or you're not, right? And as Candyman is entering Helen's life, and as Helen's spirit is merging with Candyman, there are way more mirrors, way more reflections, but it's a mirror. Nia said, F that. She done flipped it, turned it, and reversed it. Had like 3 reflections going on. Yahya showing that white lady the bathroom mirror graffiti art with him and the flipped mirror. So it was like mad. Ma'am, who do you think you are? That was stunning. That was absolutely stunning. Of course, there was also these honeycomb style visuals as well, which was also used in the original 1992 Candyman as well, especially those laundromat scenes looking like this enlarged honeycomb, all the stripes, the brick walls. And as Anthony is coming closer to meeting Candyman's spirit, these stripes and these walls and these honeycombs begin to build around him, and just like the everyday presence of the locations. Really cool, really keen. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler. We about to spoil here, okay, y'all? We about to spoil. I wanna give y'all that, all right? Now, thank God a Black woman took over this tale, because the 1992 movie had this Black man, of course, you're in this white supremacist time frame in America, in inner city Chicago, right? And, you know, just general critique, especially amongst us, right? You had this Black spirit haunting Black people and harming, you know, a Black woman and a child while chasing the love of a white woman. And the reason why he's even dead is because he allegedly impregnated a white woman and was about to have a child. So if a Black man gets lynched for impregnating a white woman, why in his eternal hellish death would he want to recreate and obsess and love a white woman and steal a Black child? Like, and I was saying this in my Patreon stream yesterday, like, you know, the 1992 version had white screenwriters and had white directors, white protagonists, and a white woman. Like, it was white POV, right? So like some stuff, surprisingly, I thought they got pretty correct about, you know, the struggle, being down, right? But then sometimes the white jumped out. They can't help something like that. The white's gonna jump out, right? That's all right. So the 1992 version told a story from a white point of view, right? So the inversion to the 1992 original movie that we're seeing in this year's Candyman was, let me start over. The 1992 was the white POV on Black poverty versus this 2021 version, which is the Black POV on white gentrification. So that really clean twist and keeping up, you know, that theme from what the original started. Really smart. Let's get into the say his name business. This year's Candyman was killed via police brutality. Now, look, you got to update the story, right? And the biggest thing that we're talking about when we're speaking about Black oppression would be police brutality. So the say his name is derivative of say her name, a phrase specifically developed for Black women during the BLM protests. I'm just going to cover the umbrella in BLM, whether or not they're actually BLM. We get it. But that phrase is very specific to Black women. So I was kind of surprised to see that taken and morphed for the generational harm and deaths of Black men. I was like, why did we do that? But that's not it's a splinter. It's not a thorn in my side. It's a splinter. It's just like, okay, whatever, right? What I can say is that the 1992 version followed a white woman and the 2021 version ended with a Black woman. So you pricked me, but you put a little honey in my mouth. See? Why I can't be on you like that? I'm not gonna be on you like that. To be personally honest as well, I get like the racism horror thing is happening, and I'm gonna give it to Jordan Peele for sparking that up for us. I'm a little tired of racism horror. And this is, Candyman is racism horror, so it's not a Candyman thing. And I'm real tired of police brutality movies. So I really wanted to come in with something fresh, but they have to use something realistic that we're actually going through to do a fresh thing. So then in doing something that we're kind of tired of hearing, it made something fresh stale. So it sucks it sucks that it feels like that. Not the movie sucks. It sucks that it feels like that, because I felt in watching the cops and the thing, I'm like, I want something, I want to eat. I'm starving, Peele. I'm starving. You understand? You understand? Struggle Reviews TV says the writing and effects here was so poorly executed, almost childish. This film was a missed opportunity. Living Good TV says, I really wanted more come through Tyra, the anti-Blackness of it all. I want to eat. So, yeah. I love horror. My viewers know my favorite movies are Hereditary, Midsummer. Like, I like horror, devastating, violent things. I love it, right? So this serves as a traditional horror and as a social commentary. At the end of the day, looking at this poster, which was fired, Yahya's back. Looking at that, I wanted to see Yahya F people up. I wanted to see it. So this random actual Candyman in the movie really threw me off and took me by surprise. I didn't know that was going to be a thing. I didn't know he was going to be a thing. So the fact that we're not watching Yahya be the utmost dark, evil thing at all, I was like, dang. I want to see Yahya F people up. I want to see them bleed. Question. Here's where I have a question. This movie is about Black people like reclaiming their space and power from white people. What I left the theater not quite understanding, I want to jump into the chat to see your takes on it. I don't understand like what made this year's Candyman become intentional about only killing white people. Like, and it had to do with William and the laundromat, and he controlled it because he had a Candyman horror tale in his backstory. But what made him, as an adult, how did that work? How did William have the power to alter Candyman like that? So, and also, if it's their intention for Candyman to only be killing white people now and setting Black people free, I'm kind of lost on like Candyman harming Black children and people back in the day to now his spirit don't. Like who, like what exactly made that happen? Also, Candyman's spirit takes the victims of like Black men across generations, because that's supposed to be like symbolic for like Black lives under constant harm. The harm that we spoke about under white supremacy, right? That's supposed to be symbolic of the generational harm of Black people. And they made it specifically about Black men. But at the end of the day, it's just Candyman fucking up his niggas. Like, you know what I mean? It's just Candyman doing that harm to his people in this hood. So, like, so I'm not understanding like how exactly it worked. Like, William did a spell or something, or acts nicely. Like, what? Very choppy storyline, threw everything off. And then like Anthony was completely under Candyman's hypnosis, under Candyman's spirit. He was immobile, he was nonverbal. But William did the transition. And if William was going to make this new Candyman only kill white people, like Candyman was going to be our gun, right? America. Why you dragged Brianna down like a kidnapper? I mean, it's her man and she got to sign off on it. But like, I don't know. Was that Brianna's daddy who jumped off the building because he was under Candyman's spirit? It wasn't her. It was just a different Black girl. Was it her? Because if it was her who saw her daddy jump off the building, she didn't believe in Candyman as an adult. Or did she not know her daddy was under Candyman's spell? Perry, say more. What was the white woman? What do you mean? Mostly Mosey says, I too was a bit confused on that. There needed to be more expansion on the lore. Lily says, third act was definitely a weird turn. The whole film I was waiting to see Tony Todd's face. I'm wondering the same too. Is Candyman a vengeful spirit that answers those that call him, or is he the anti-hero puppet? What William did was beyond disturbing. It was Brianna as a child who saw her daddy go off the ledge. Okay, so then maybe because if she saw that, why doesn't she believe in Candyman today? Okay, so maybe she's not making the Candyman decision. Like her daddy wasn't affiliated with Candyman. Her daddy just left. And she didn't know why. And it wasn't his fault or his doing, but she didn't know that. Maybe she learns that because her man becomes Candyman and she sees. Am I making this up? Am I writing the story? It was Brianna's dad. Was the difference that the white woman was the vessel? Perry, I want to understand this question so bad and I don't. The difference in what? I'm gonna come back. So that was it. So I wish they fleshed that story out more. Clearly her father was also a painter, and when he jumped, he had on a yellow sweater, right? Candyman spirit, but he wasn't killed in the usual Candyman fashion. That was given Get Out, where someone, their spirit is trapped within their own body, so he ended it. Because Candyman wants to consume people so they go out and do the harm, but I think her dad was like, I gotta go. I don't know. But this is the thing, like, this is why they should have had Anthony, like, and it would have been the perfect character to do so. Anthony would have been outside in Chicago getting the Candyman legend instead of just speaking to William in the laundromat. Because also in the original, to see Helen was outside, bro. Like, she was outside. How much the community resisted her. I would have loved to see Chicago welcome Anthony and be like, yo, we'll let you know, come here. A Black man being like, what happened here? But he was a bougie Black, right? Was that also a commentary about elite Blacks versus Cabrini-Green Blacks? Was that an underscore story there too? I guess you could connect Brianna's dad to Candyman. He said he could fly. Candyman levitates. Maybe I'm reaching. I think we all reaching because we try to figure it out. I think we all reached it. Her father shouldn't have been in there. Maybe with more time, Anthony's mom. They were all really well connected. It was giving cousin. No, it wasn't. I'm fluffing. Okay, here we go, y'all. We coming to the ending, and this is spoiler heavy. We're gonna spoil the ending. So if you made it this far, I told a lot, but now I'm really gonna bring it in home, okay? So spoiler. Akin to the original, Anthony begins his journey as this loving, gentle boyfriend that becomes dark as his spirit is overtaken by Candyman. But in the end, his love for his girlfriend plays a role in the terror that he'll now apply to whites only. That's the first time that phrase has been nice. To protect her and to protect Chicago. So direct inversion again to 1992 version, where the villain now becomes the hero. I ain't gonna say it. So now when he fully embodies Candyman, first of all, I'm hoping we get a part 2 because I need to see Yahya fuck people up. Like, how could we not, right? I really wanted to see Yahya do the infamous kill, rip you from the rooted to the tutor. That's Candyman's kill. I would have loved that. Now that would have been homage. It's gross, and the reason don't even make sense. Even when I was watching the original, I'm like, why would you want to tear somebody like that? Why do you need that? If it's a thing, I would have loved to see Yahya rip from the rooted to the soda. That's Candyman's go-to move. That's the kill him, slay, like, you know. Yeah, I'm hoping there's a sequel because I want to see Yahya be Candyman. Just give us evil, right? Whatever. There was also a huge big twist and reveal on Anthony's backstory, which I won't say because I know some people just tune in, watch just to have a good time. But if you do see the movie, I do want you to have something. There's a big twist and reveal on Anthony's backstory. And there's also a huge homage in the last shot, which you should be there to see in person as well. And this is something that, and Jordan Peele didn't direct. We know this is a Nia DaCosta film. But Jordan Peele has done that with his other honorary works, his other homages. He's done this thing before as well. So if the theme of the 1992 version was who's coming to help, this movie answers it. So, you know, it was fine. It was fine. Let's see what y'all saying in the chat. I want to hear thoughts, opinions, takes, theories. Mosley says, not gonna lie, would have loved to see someone attempt to exorcise Candyman and fail miserably. Bloody misery. Candyman is violent. Like, you know what I mean? He's violent. I feel like maybe Candyman was killing so many Black people because he was using a white woman. Okay, now I see what you're saying. Okay. So he's killing Black people because of his love and his vessel of a white woman who didn't want them dead, by the way. She like sacrificed herself to save a baby. I had to like watch my words, to save a baby. And now that this Candyman loves a Black woman, but being used by a Black man, look at us filling in the holes. Look at us trying to fill it in. But I get you now, Perry. I'm glad we solved it. Vanessa E. Williams should have played a much bigger role. I don't know why they saved her for the end and treated this identity like a twist. Yes, but I'll say this. To your last sentence that I'm not going to say out loud. I'm happy I didn't watch the original right before this one because it would have been very obvious. I'm glad I had so much distance from the original that it felt like a discovery for me. And I was like, oh, of course. Yeah. And I'm happy I got to walk in with that feeling. But I watched the original right after and I was like, yes. I don't know, for real. I'm just searching for why Candyman was only killing white folk. And Lily says, love the last shot. It was so satisfying. It was fine. You know, it was fine. I'm glad Nia is coming into a recognition as a director. She actually just released information in an article saying that even though she's working at this status, even though she's, you know, breaking, you know, glass ceilings and boundaries with being a Black woman working at this level in Hollywood, she's still getting such disrespect. They still on my girl. Some white men on her set, lower level position, asked her if she sells her body on the side to make money. So even when we're winning, white people going white people. Okay, white people going white people. So what Nia needed to do was look up in that mirror and say, Candyman. Do you gotta say it all at once? What if you saved the last Candyman for later, like I did in this video? And that's really my befuddlement, right? Because if I look in the mirror and I'm gonna either get Yahya, but he gotta be Candyman. That's a 50-50 chance, my guy. Yahya in my home, but he might rip me from the rooter to the tutor. Put that hook on me. All right, you guys, I'm gonna stop here. I am JustLatasha. Please subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up, share it on your social networks with all your friends and family. Let them know you love it. Become a Patreon. I dissected the 1992 Candyman in full yesterday live on Patreon. Go watch that live stream, patreon.com/JustLatasha. I am on Instagram at JustLatasha. I am on Twitter, JustLatasha404. And please stay tuned to my comedy web series coming out later this year, JustLatasha's Interactions. Follow the show pages as well. Interactions, INNR Actions. So many good things coming up. I have my hands in so many projects. I'm excited to share so much with y'all. So stay tuned. I'll be flaking, but I'm supposed to be doing a piece of script, bite-sized dissections on Thursday. But my hands are full, y'all. My hands are full. I'll be really trying to do it, but my hands be full. Struggle Views, thank you so much. Sending that super chat in. That helps me a lot, as well as an independent creator who says, you're being so generous here with this film, and I love it. Not the high-pitched voice. It was nice. It was fine. And filling in the holes, you are too kind. Look. Breaking in as a Black filmmaker and a Black writer and a Black director, especially as a Black woman, that's hard as hell. It is so hard. So I always want to, I see what you was trying to do. I'm on your side. Like I see what you was trying to do, but I also want to be real with me, be real with you, and be real with them. Okay? If it's I, it's I. But that's I. It's okay. Okay? It didn't have to be a stunner. Here's the thing. Jordan Peele started too high. He came out the gate swinging. It was a phenomenal piece of work. So I honestly think that's just a really heavy crown to wear, because people are always going to be looking to feel and see that thing again with each and every one of your projects. And that doesn't give you a lot of wiggle room to explore and play and just not give that, right? And it doesn't mean he suck. Like no one here sucks. But they came together, they made a movie, Black people got to work, Black people's on the big screen, they got paid, they look beautiful doing it. And I celebrate that. I celebrate the process of it all. I celebrate the end result of it all. And I celebrate us having this and having this time. That's it. Hearts up in the chat. It's all love around here. That's it. Okay. You guys take care. I'm signing out. Thank you again, Struggle Reviews TV, for the super chat. I love you. I love you. I love you. See you later.